It's not. It's been rather dead. Like not even undead, just dead. Hello. Thank you for having me. Yeah. Hmm. Heck yeah. Oh, that is bad. That is awful. Oh, well, that is still awful. Ah, heck. Yeah. y- It's literally the exact same as on every time your invoice. I'm still hearing you normal as ever.
Okay, hold on, because I think
Now I suddenly hear you a lot clearer.
testing. Let me check with those guys. Can
Holy
you hear
shit,
me
where
now?
has this clear sounding Arthur been all my life so far?
Really? Because I.
Honestly, you sound even clearer than you do on the videos on your channel.
Oh wow. Okay, that's hot. Um, yeah, I'm curious because I think you were picking up the camera's audio, which would be really crappy, but I think you would have noticed that. Okay, so you guys hear me now? Yes, Pro
Yep.
and Raincrawler. So Pro's over on our YouTube chat. That's commitment. We miss you here, Pro. Even Chris stated that he wouldn't mind seeing your metallic or muty face over here. How about that?
That I wouldn't mind what?
Seeing him back over on Discord.
I want him back.
See? See, Pro? How does
I
that make you
miss.
feel? And don't worry, Pro, you'll always get all your watermelons back. Well, that's up to Jano. Okay, so Okay. All right. Cool. Everybody can hear me. Good. And everybody can hear Chris. And that's all we need here. Cool. Okay. No worries, Pro. We're just messing with you. Well, not really. We do enjoy your presence. So, welcome Raincrawler over on YouTube. We'll get started here for anybody that's watching this later. We don't want these boring points here at the beginning. Or somebody tagging in the comments saying that the actual video starts here. We don't need that kind of crap around these parts. It's good now. Hello, my yellow battery. Okay, so update. I wanted to talk briefly about a situation here in the States, and then we'll talk about the topic, about the specifics of the topic, because I want to include some specifics that'll make it a little more interesting, I think. Hopefully Gargamel joins us, because I wanted to hear from him. So, as you guys heard, in California we did have some earthquakes. I just looked at some videos briefly before the Monstercast. So we did hit a 7.1 over in California. That's pretty strong.
That's a yikes.
Yeah. It's the strongest in over 20 years now. In some parts, people say that in their over 20 years that they've lived there, it's the worst that they've had. So, no, nothing too drastic. I mean, some things happened, some rattling, some buildings, a few, but nothing too crazy happened. No crazy explosions, nothing like that yet. The seismologist reported that they're going to be decreasing now, but it goes over a long time span, like even another year. Like that's what she reported. They recorded from the previous big one that they had. So, Dande, let us know if you felt anything over there. Maybe not, but the tremors were felt even as far as Las Vegas, so it's possible you felt a little bit. So what she said is it's possible there could be another strong hit, but what will happen, she said, most likely is there's going to be at least another 5. So that could be today. It could have already happened. I don't know.
Oh.
But it would
If
just
it's a 5 total, last I heard, which was yesterday, a third one had happened. So it means 2 more?
Maybe. You're right. That's not an exact number, but yeah, that would sound about right. It depends on the strength of it, right? The last one you heard, Chris, how strong was it?
See, the thing is, I haven't actually had the time to watch the videos that are made about the subject,
Okay,
because I don't follow mainstream media. I follow private, independent journalists.
cool.
Specifically, one Tim Pool. He's a swell guy. He actually makes sure facts are appropriate. He's made a couple of videos about
Team
this, but
pool.
I haven't had the opportunity to watch them just yet.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's see. So the ones I heard, I mean, the big ones, it was the six something, like 6.7 or something, and then the 7.1, which was pretty recent because I was just talking to my lady about the 6 yesterday, and I didn't know about the 7 yet. So like the seismologist said, it would be odd if there wouldn't be another 5 at least. There should be a 5, and then it'll decrease, and it decreases in, like I said, the term of a year. So there'll be small ones, more insignificant ones, you know, as there are kind of regularly in California too. So,
Yeah, California just does not seem like a very nice place. You got earthquakes, forest fires,
mm,
Democrats in charge.
right, the forest fires are worse than the earthquakes, it seems too.
Yeah, because also I heard it was in Los Angeles that medieval diseases were making a return. Like there's
Wow.
potential for the Black Death to make a return, as well as some other tendinitis or something else that was very prevalent within the Dark Ages. I don't remember the exact name, but yeah,
Hmm,
bubonic plague.
that's pretty wild. It'll, huh. I wonder if that already started or they just found it on
Well,
some random. Hmm.
they've managed to find several cases of bubonic plague.
Mm.
On rats, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think there have been one or two homeless people tested with it.
Is that some workings you're involved in, Chris? Hmm?
What workings?
These bubonic plagues, you and your tailed
I don't know.
buddies?
See, I don't like California, but I know that people I like live there, so I'm not doing stuff like that.
Oh, gotcha. All right, all right. So it's official, guys. It's not Chris and his rat pack.
No.
Rat crew. Pack sounds too small. Um, on
It
a
ain't my
fault line.
boys and me.
I think so. The San Andreas fault is what they always bring up, Donde. So, wait. So what did Donde say? I felt it last night. Not over. Okay, one aftershock. Okay, I thought I was losing my equilibrium due to lack of sleep. Yeah, that's the weird thing. If you guys ever felt an earthquake, it's you're not used to that. You're really not used to the ground moving under you like that. So you'll think it's you. You know, it's your own mind. As you know, sometimes during the day you'll get uh, moments like that where you get a little dizzy or lose your equilibrium. I know I've had moments like that, but it's kind of like that. If it's weak, it's gonna feel a little bit like that, except you can see or hear the effects.
Yeah, earthquakes are not a pleasant experience. I can confirm because you see where I'm at,
Mm-hmm.
we are basically on another fault line as well, as we're part of the Alpo-Himalayan mountain chain. So we do get the occasional quake here as well. It's not pleasant.
Hmm.
Everything just starts shaking, and it's a whole
I'm always
kind of
curious.
experience.
Yeah, I'm always curious how these places that do have a lot of earthquakes, how they set up things. So like, I know buildings are built a certain way, but for example, we have a store here called Bed Bath and Beyond. It's it's pretty well known too because of movies and stuff. But anyway, it's a big store, and they have things on their shelves stacked pretty high. Like they'll have dishes 10 feet above people, and without a guard, they're just on the shelf. Things like this in California, even with a minor shake, would drop. So I'm wondering if all this is a little bit differently approached in places like California.
Well, in Japan, they've literally built everything around earthquakes and volcanoes. Here, our earthquakes are rather small. Like the biggest one recorded, I believe, is as big as the one you recently got, 7 point something.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get them big here. It's minor, so but there's also the fact that our buildings are not that tall, really. So there is that.
True. Okay. You said built around volcanoes as well, huh?
Well, yeah, Japan is literally a collective of volcanic islands, so it's earthquakes and volcanoes galore.
Right, right. Well, you said Japan, but then you said around you, where you live.
I don't know. Japan is the volcano and earthquake place. Where I am at, the quakes are because we're literally on a giant mountain chain that stretches from the Alps in Italy all the way to the Himalayas, and it's all connected.
Okay.
Uh,
I see, I
so
see.
basically, but on our end, it's very small, it's not as big as in the Himalayas.
How do you feel about it? Is
Uh,
it kind of like is it kind of fun when it happens sometimes?
no.
No. And will it like is it strong enough to kind of sway like
When you're
pictures on the
inside
wall?
the building, you feel the shakes.
Okay. And it usually lasts for what, a few seconds?
I think the longest one I have consciously experienced lasted like a minute.
Wow. That's pretty long. And are you able to if a police officer asked you to walk a straight line, would you be able to do it in these levels of shakes?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, actually, I think I would. It's again not that, but you can literally. It
Mhm.
doesn't move a lot of things, but you can literally hear all of the shaking happening around you, and it's
Right.
pretty distressing.
Yeah, yeah. No, I can definitely understand that. Especially when you don't know what's coming next or how far
And
it's going to go.
especially considering how rare these things are, they don't happen often.
Mm-hmm. The good thing about this one in California, the 7, the big one, I think it happened after 8 o'clock p.m., so kind of in the evening. So the good thing about that is a lot of, hopefully, convenience stores and such were closed or closing, um, and businesses and offices. So that's better. That's better than like 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Hmm.
All right. All right, guys. Pro was saying that it's the coming of the end of the world.
No.
What did he say there? Let me catch up to that. Mojave. The Mojave was ripped apart. The planet starting to activate its extinction plan. Nature finds a way.
And humanity always finds a way to fuck it right back.
Yeah, it seems nature's not fighting back very strongly. Um, but
Oh no, it is. We're just better at it.
we're too far ahead. All right, guys, let's get started with the actual chat today then. If you want to timestamp this point, we'll be talking about friend monsters. And what that means is monsters, a monster that you would like to have as a friend in this world as we know it now. So I'm saying tomorrow or within a week, you go out or however you meet this monster, he becomes a part of, or she becomes a part of your life. And so you have to consider all the things that come with that. So if you're thinking something like a transformer or whatever, you got to figure government's going to get involved very quick, and this is going to get insane. So, yeah, what's the word? Stealthiness, heavy stealthiness would probably help. Things like that. So yes,
Mm.
best monster to have in this world now, because I think we did an episode before something like this, and we were even talking about having a dragon friend. Do you guys remember that?
I have a vague recollection of that. Yes.
I think even the genie was brought up, something like that. I just don't remember the point of the episode, the topic, and how that we got around to that. Anyway, we're gonna start forgetting these things, and we'll start doing them, which is totally fine because we'll have new people anyway. But so many other topics to cover. So let's get started with this. Let's see,
Hmm.
John. So Chris, let's talk to you. You've been balancing between a couple.
I'm question. Do mythological gods count as monsters?
Mythological gods. Yes.
Like from the Greek and Norse pantheon and the like.
Yes, yes. Gods, superheroes, anything that's very out of the ordinary.
Okay, Hades. Like
Hades.
mythological Hades, not the movie modern trope Hades.
Okay. And tell us why.
Well, primary reason because just a plain old, unlike the movie depictions of the guy where he's, the evil guy trying to snatch away power from Zeus, take over the world. Mythological Hades is none of that stuff. People hear King of the Underworld and they immediately assume Satan, which is as far as you can get from the actual case. He's just a mild mannered dork who loves his wife, does his job, and named his giant three-headed dog Spot.
Okay.
Also, I'm pretty sure that around Persephone, he picked up like gardening or floristing.
Really?
Uh, yeah, and well, end of the day, it's the god of the underworld. When you die, it would be beneficial for you to be in his good graces to at least get you a nice seat.
Very nice. So there's your benefit. So it's not about having things in this world, even. It's about having a secured eternity.
You never know. See, you never know when things can end, but the underworld is less likely to end than the mortal world
Nice. That's a pretty
because
well thought
magic
out
and
answer.
nonsense.
Now,
And
what.
again, he is literally just a chill bro to be around with, mythological Hades specifically. Just a cool dude. And it's like allegedly
Nice.
there have been bad stuff done by him, but it's not really done by him. It's people misunderstanding him. Like, for example,
Mm-hmm.
there was this one Greek guy who was raising the dead, basically stealing his subjects, and Hades like went to his little brother Zeus and like, hey, this guy is they're stealing my subject. Can you please do something about that? With the intention likely being to ask him to stop, but instead of that, Zeus decided to set the guy on fire and burn him alive.
Nice.
And for example, with Orpheus, he literally told the guy, "Okay, just walk out of here. Do not turn around at all. One thing, just you have one job: walk out without turning around."
Mm-hmm.
And Orpheus turned around right as he was about to leave the underworld proper, and that's how he permanently lost his wife. Like, he literally just do this one thing, but no. So yeah, Hades is a good boy. He's a good lad, chill bro. Nice, considering his stance, as he's been alive for so long, he probably has a lot of nice things to have conversations about. Um, and you get to play with the dog. See, that's the thing about Cerberus. He is a friend to everyone who goes to the underworld. He only gets pissy if you try to leave.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
it's all perfectly fine.
So the
And
door
end
is
of the day,
always
if you are
open
nice
inward.
yeah, if you're eventually, regardless how much, eventually you go there. So it's in your best interest to be would to be friends with him.
Mm-hmm. Now, Darth Phoenix asks, what? He named his dog Spot.
Yes, Cerberus comes from the Greek word kerber, which translates to spotted. So basically, Cerberus's name translates to spot.
Really? Okay. That's a fun fact. There you have it, Phoenix. All right. So, as far as benefits of having him as a friend in during life and all that, what do you think about that? What can he? What could you
Well,
do with
he
him?
is a
Mm-hmm.
god that can technically manipulate the reality to a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Not that is without mentioning what's its face. Uh, in just how do you call it? Manipulating people's souls and the like. So someone bothers you, Hades, as long as it's not like another giant monster or deity, technically you are set for life with a friend like Hades.
Mm.
Because see, last time people tried to do something stupid around him, those being Theseus and his bro Pirithous, who decided they wanted to marry daughters of Zeus. So Theseus kidnapped Helen of Troy, and Pirithous decided he wanted to marry Persephone, Hades' his wife. And so when the two went down to the underworld to snatch her and kidnap her, Hades invited them onto dinner. And as they sat down, he had snakes appear out of their chairs, turn to stone, bind them into their chairs, and afterwards he sucked the furies on them.
Nice. That's a nice combination of things. Hmm.
I
Uh,
say, don't mess with Persephone or her mildly mannered husband, because unlike Hades, there's this one image that is very accurate in their portrayal, where it's
mhm.
Persephone going off to fight someone, and Hades is just standing behind her holding a flower, like
Okay.
that she uses to put in her hair, because she's the goddess of spring and whatnot, and like, I'll go kick their ass, babe. I got your flower.
Nice.
Is that kind of see both of them match very well with one another. They
Mm.
genuinely love each other, and technically the only
Mm.
nasty thing you could say Hades done, he kidnapped Persephone to marry her. But back then, kidnapping your future wife was kind of a natural thing to do.
Mhm.
You can only imagine how much of that nonsense Zeus has done.
Well, and obviously she didn't mind it too much, considering her demeanor and levels of anger, and not only that, but
Well,
aggressiveness. So I'm sure if she really wanted to, she could punish Hades quite well.
well, end of the day, he is a more powerful being than her,
Hmm.
and she did it. And again, it is still kidnapping, but end of the day, he is genuinely, legitimately a nice guy. Both of them have a pretty stable relationship. Out of all the gods, the two of them as a pair literally practically never fight. It's always nonsense but going on between Zeus and Hera or
Okay.
other people. But Persephone and Hades, they are l- even when Persephone goes to visit on the on the surface world,
Mm-hmm.
spring comes and all that. She kind of wants to go back and be with her hubby. It's pretty amicable and it's a I ship it, so to say,
Right,
kind of
right.
thing. And
It's
she's the
delightful.
more feisty one. Is if you get in the crosshairs of someone in the underworld you don't want to, that would be Persephone, which is why I'm really mad with the God of War game's depiction of Persephone, because she allegedly didn't love her husband, was forced onto her, and no, that's not how it works.
Oh, I see. Okay. Now, so I had a couple questions and one comment. So that means when you get Hades as a friend, you, in a way, partially get his lady as well. So have you taken that into consideration?
Of course.
Okay.
Like, it's almost as if you don't know how to do political intrigue, Arthur.
So two questions then. Um, would he be considered a very wise god?
Well, he is a
He is a god,
you could
right? So,
say. Yeah, he is a god. He's older than most things,
mm-hmm,
so he's bound to have seen stuff. And he is not the put his dick in everything or fight everything type of god. He's just wants to chill and enjoy eternity with his wife.
mm-hmm.
So why not? And his dog. So why not? Get a friend. It's not that far flung.
Yeah, just a man, his lady, and his dog. Really doesn't sound that
Yeah,
bad. The second one
yeah.
I believe you already answered is what are his levels of who left? We will have to torture that person. Oh, he's back. Okay. What are his levels of aggressiveness then?
Don't fuck with the people he loves, and you're fine.
Okay, so he's not generally.
Because
Mm-hmm,
you see, he is the type of guy that it takes a decent bit to piss him off. Because the only reason he went all gangster on Theseus and Pirithous is because they literally wanted to steal his wife and force marry her to Pirithous, Theseus's buddy, and that would make anyone a bit unhappy with the situation, as you can imagine.
sure.
Uh, so it's hard to get him angered, but when you anger him, he makes sure you don't do stupid stuff again.
Down. Just sending Darth Phoenix a message here.
Okay.
Um, I'll just say it to you. You can hear me, right, Darth?
Mm-hmm.
So what you can do is make sure Chris's volume is at the maximum. Make my volume go down lower so that it's equal to kind of Chris's, and then just bring up your computer volume up so that it's all balanced. It's normal now. Okay, okay. He left and he came back, and then it's better. Okay, cool. Um, all right, cool. So that's Hades. Anybody have any comments, questions on that one? I enjoy it. Good answer. Okay. All right, Chris. So who was the other, or what was the other monster?
Well, a dragon, Godzilla, all the usual stuffs. But
Mm-hmm.
see, nice as Godzilla, our Lord and Savior may be, it's not the kind of guy you can have a nice conversation on a Sunday evening with.
True. And yeah, and not to mention his size. It's a little bit tricky to work with at all times and all
Mm-hmm.
places. And dragon, yeah, I think that's where I brought up Draco of Dragonheart previously, and enough in these shows, as he would be a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
pal.
He would get break around, but see, the benefits that he can bring are limited.
True, true. Um, right. It's just we know his personality so well.
Mm-hmm. He's
Um,
an adorable guy.
Pro mentioned to laugh out loud, you die from radiation poisoning as far as Godzilla. It's
Yeah, there's
possible.
also that.
um, we're going to have to take a quick break for a Heroes of Might and Magic update. It's not really an update. I wanted to mention
Ooh.
this to you, Chris. There's a different
Which one?
company because I think Ubisoft was running Heroes of Might and Magic, right? And they kind of ran them to the ground. it seems.
No, actually, last I heard of the latest Might and Magic
Hmm.
sold well.
Really? All right. Well, the website's kind of
Mm-hmm.
off the hinges,
Like they,
not in a good way.
it was Might and Magic 8, I think, or maybe 7. I'm not sure.
Wow.
But the latest one was pretty decent.
Okay. Well, there's a new game coming out. I guess it was mentioned at E3 or during E3. It's a smaller company. It might be indie level. And it's kind of the style of Heroes of Might and Magic, though more pixelated, kind of that more pixelated look of older games, which some people like. It's called Conquest something. I forgot. But since it's at the latest E3, you got the keyword Conquest. You can find it out yourself later, probably. So it might be something you may be interested in. It does look pretty
Hmm.
cool. So shout out
I
to
may
that.
consider.
Hmm. I found out about it because Angry Joe was doing a top games review, and he mentioned that game, and he mentioned how his friend loves Heroes of Might and Magic, particularly 3. So, and he mentioned that his friend was really excited about this, or would be, because of the relation. So,
Hmm.
there we have it, folks. All right.
Nice.
So, anything else to add there, Chris, from your side?
No, that's basically it. If anyone has any stuff to note,
Okay.
feel free.
In the comments, let me see if I can actually tag Jono, since he asked that, in case he has limited time. Are welcome to go anytime. And you guys in the text, you're welcome to share. If you want me to call somebody out, maybe I'll call somebody out. Donde, if you want to go next, I'll read yours. And while Donde replies, a thing I wanted to mention is, so when I was thinking about it, it's a good question, really, as far as relating it to our reality as it is now. And that's why I think you got it pretty good, Chris, because you got Hades, and he doesn't have any he doesn't have to have any physical influence here, so no issues there.
No,
And
he
so
can
I was
just
thinking,
he can just mask himself as any normal dude. It's a thing that the
mm-hmm,
Greek gods do. Zeus in particular does that a lot,
how
like
fun.
uncomfortably a lot.
How fun just going to events and stuff with him. Or like bringing him
Yeah,
to like a D&D game with you while everybody's playing and you introduce your new friend.
yeah.
He manipulates the miniatures a little bit from time to time.
And he would just make the move, but he wouldn't cheat. He's too good of a person to do that.
See, that's cool. That's cool. Yes. No. Okay. All right. So let me see. What's Dande saying? Dande is typing. He's typing up a storm. Watch out, everybody. He's going in the Dando form.
Hmm.
So one thing I was thinking is, of course, a free genie. Because it'd be great to, of course, having a friend, a genie that can cast wishes, especially with the personality of that Robin Williams genie.
Yeah, see,
Um,
that's another thing I kind of struggle with, and me and
mhm.
Z talked about because I do not consider the genie from Aladdin, like the original Aladdin movie. I don't consider him a monster.
Okay. Oh, you don't
He's just
consider
a
him a
cool dude.
monster.
No.
So you said from the original. You're not talking about the Disney one then.
Well, yes, that is. I mean, the original Disney.
Original Disney.
What's it? The original Disney animated movie with Robin.
So, in your opinion, why wouldn't you consider him a monster?
Yeah, say, monster has needs to have a certain. It's the monster factor, you could say, about itself, and the genie does not at all strike me like a monster.
Hmm.
It kind of does not give off the vibe of one.
I consider Will Smith Genie a monster because he's too hot. Pro said.
Okay, Procrastitron, no.
Uh, there you go, Pro. Shout out. Well, for my explanations and on the channel, I would. He does come from a lamp. He's supernatural. he's almost god level in a sense. But the question I had when I was thinking about a free genie, because I'm saying a free genie, I wouldn't want a friend genie that's in a lamp and he's stuck and he's basically imprisoned. That I wouldn't be a good friend in that case. If I had the freedom to free him, right? Or the choice.
Hmm.
But I was wondering how possible even the lore in fantasy, so it kind of contradicts itself, but how possible the lore is in that fantasy that the genie could actually be free and still cast wishes. I'm not sure that's very possible in the lore. I think once he gets free, he can't do that anymore. So that's what I was.
He's still the one from Disney. He's still more than capable of casting magic and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. But in general, it does again depend on the type of genie you're referring to. Because, for example, the genies from not World, uh, Heroes of Might and Magic, from there, specifically the ones in the Ubisoft reboot, they can grant wishes. However, they always take something back. It's some similar to equivalent exchange. They always take something back in exchange for the wish. For example, one in the Heroes of Might and Magic 5 campaign, one prince of the town type that uses the genies wished so that his personal town would always move around with him, like fly around the world together with him. And in exchange for that, his mind would slowly be devoured by nothingness and would eventually lose it.
Wow. Okay.
And there you also have the case of the Jinn from the Supernatural TV series, where they don't really do magic. Essentially, they put you in a coma and induce memories in your mind where you think you're getting your best wish
Mm.
done, but in reality, you're just in a coma and this monster is feeding off of you while you're in a coma, thinking you're living the dream, basically.
How's he feeding off of you? Just like your energy, or is it your soul? Is it
Your
material?
energy, the soul, and there are some that
Mm.
scramble your guts and then suck you
Oh,
out.
damn. Because I was thinking that wouldn't be too bad of a friend either. Like having a gin like that can put all this stuff in your head. I mean, basically, it's like an advanced version of VR. So,
I know,
you.
but you never wake up, and eventually you
Oh,
die out
okay.
of starvation and dehydration. See, the more clever of the jinn will try to keep you hydrated and whatnot, but
Right.
it's generally you just they string you up like on a meat hook somewhere,
Mm hmm.
and you just stay there in perpetual coma while they feed on you for as much as possible.
Interesting. Well, if you do befriend one and has a benevolent slight touch to him, maybe he can work out things with you and give you these kind of pleasure rides. Hmm.
Yeah, but
But
it will
Hades
never
might
be
be able
real
to do
though.
something like that as well. Come to think of it. Alrighty. Donde's up. And Donde says, okay, well, I was going to go with the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters, for those of you that aren't aware of this out there, because it'd be fun to have some sort of ghost, size morphing marshmallow man that can fly and ride, that you can fly and ride upon. The question of the government interference and sugar crazed people would probably go at him, for sure, I think. While I can't really think of much, I'm going to go with two. The first would be the Christine, because it's, oh yes, Christine, yeah, from the Stephen King's movie Christine, because it's a killer car that can buff out its scratches and dents with ease. Despite it being murderous and making you fall head over heels with it, it would be nice to have, especially in this day and age where people are driving like mad people. If Christine isn't considered a monster, then it would be. First of all, Donde, I'll take her as a monster for sure. And good answer there. Now, his second answer is probably some sort of cat person like Felicia in Darkstalkers, mainly because they can change into cat and traveling with a friend can be done with ease. No one will suspect you have a person there with you. Also, not too many people can say their friend can turn into a cat. True, good point, the monster side. The other would be probably a Pokemon of some sort. That's the best I can think of at the moment. Not sure what other one I would like, as I'm coming up with nothing at the moment, even though I had a bunch earlier. Okay, Donde, well, if you can just shoot out some names later um, as we discuss. But I think Christine was a good answer there. State Puffed, yeah, I can definitely see issues running up there. That'd be crazy. Truly, that would be that would make for a cool comedy movie. But that would just be insane if we had a
It's technically already been done, Little Shop of Horrors, but instead of a car, you have a plant.
right. No, I'm talking with State Puffed Marshmallow Man.
Oh, I thought you meant Christine.
If we just had something, especially like in the big city, but anywhere, if we just had this huge, benevolent, just nice guy, silly because he's kind of simple, right? A simple entity, a Marshmallow Man, just a huge tons of marshmallow being. I wonder how things. I don't know. I wonder how evil people would get on that. How quick, because I'm sure the government would get involved. He would be. Yeah, that's what would probably happen. Of course, the SCP kind of thing. It would. They would create a barrier around him so that most people cannot get near him. After some years of testing, if they realize he's actually safe, they would probably make money off of people looking at him, and then do experiments on how much we can actually communicate. Okay, I'm going too deep on this. We should make an episode of going too deep on simple creatures that would be fascinating to see come true. I think that'd be a fun episode. All right. Thank you, Donde. That would be interesting. Let's see, what do they say? I wonder if anybody would try to light them on fire. Raincrawler, if you buy minis. Uh-oh, he said minis. Never paint them. Why? Felicia. We got some free love there, I think. Eyes. I gotta add that in. Oh, made a mistake there. Okay, so Giano's here. Giano, I don't know if you can hear me. Giano. Can I go now? Sorry, I was having dinner. Oh. Yes, you can go, Giano. Okay. So while we wait for him, I'll bring up another thing. I didn't really come up with one particular thing or something, so I guess I'll take these moments to talk as we wait. Last time, we talked about delicious monsters. I think that was the last time, right, Chris?
I think it was last time.
Oh, yeah, it was folklore. You're right. But for the second time, we had brought up the SCP creature, the Tiki,
SCP-999, you mean?
the Tickle Monster,
Right?
correct?
Yes.
I don't know the numbers. Okay. Yeah, the Tickle Monster, because I think that, again, when I get... Okay, so all that monster would do is, one, it tastes great. It's a friendly little thing. It's just a blob moving about. But it enhances your mental health. So you never feel depressed, stressful. It helps a lot with that. That's the main benefit of this. So when I was thinking, oh, man, I can have any monster, like Chris was saying earlier, you start to get selfish. But really, then this in and of itself is such a huge thing. I mean, imagine if you don't fall into those debts and always keep that good energy up. That's a pretty awesome thing, too. Where'd Jono go? So,
I'm not sure.
Just messing around. Nah, he's busy. Time. So yeah, I was definitely thinking that would be a wonderful one, but maybe not the ultimate one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there's a lot. I mean, SCP has, well, over 5,000 now. Different creatures. Maybe not officially over 5,000, but I'm sure there's many.
Getting there.
Right? And so I'm sure there's many there that could be awesome friends, just like the one I mentioned. Is there any other, Chris, that comes to mind?
From among the SCPs, all 999 is top one. Um, which one would be a good friend to have?
Speaking of SCP, Darth, if you want to, because Darth is our SCP person, I believe, right? That was always
Yes,
him.
that would be
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, Darth, if you want to go next, you are welcome to. I will read your text. Please share your SCP. I mean, your monster. Sorry. Not trying to put monsters in your mouth. Still thinking. Nice. All right. Tickle monster. What else we got here? And then we got Dio. Oh, Dande says, going back to the genie, I was gonna go with that one because of that old TV show, Dream of Genie. Ah, yes. The black and white show, Dream of Genie. But I wondered, how would things work out if they were a trickster of sorts? Right, or if you angered them. You know, with that power comes that, well, power. Responsibility, as they say, right? I'm sure you know Dream of Genie, Chris.
Nope.
I Dream of Genie. It's a black and white old show like I Love Lucy. I'm sure you know I Love Lucy, right?
Nope.
Oh boy. Okay. If you have Nick at Night here, I don't know if. Go ahead.
I am not that old yet, sadly.
Well, that was beyond my time, and when I was younger, I was watching that because they've been dead a long time before I was born. Even some of these folks. Not I Dream of Genie. That one's newer, actually. Dande, can you remind me if Nick at Night is still a thing in America? Because I know we have Nickelodeon. Do they still run Nick at Night? I'm curious. I haven't watched regular TV in a long time, as I watch whatever I want. So I Dream of Genie is basically she's a genie and he's married to her. So there's always some kind of funny thing going on, right? She's a lovely lady. She's his wife. So yeah, having a wife genie. That could be an interesting idea, although with someone that close and around you all the time, that's beyond friend. You do get into arguments. It's bound to happen. It's good to happen. But how would they handle that, and what would happen to you? Accidents happen.
Accidents do indeed happen, and she would literally have the power to fix those accidents.
True. It depends how far that power extends. That's the prime question too.
Yeah, so there's technically nothing stopping her from exploding you like jello all over the... but then putting you back together.
True. Yep.
Just to prove a point.
There's a GIF of her for you, Chris, at the bottom of the chat, the latest one. So that's what she looked like in the show. There you go.
Nice.
Okay, so Jono's ready to go. You guys over on YouTube, you're welcome to share too. I'll call you guys out if you are watching, then just write it out. I don't know how many of you are there. I know Raincrawler was there or is there in Pro. Let's see how many people are watching. Yeah, that's probably about it for now. I'm glad that at least we're getting quite a bit of hits on these videos even afterward. So that's very nice that we're growing here, because this channel is for us, guys. For everybody here. So if you guys want to make a video and test it out, you're welcome to. Just let me know and I'll upload it, you know. Just send it to me. We'll figure that out. But yeah, I'm not very picky on this channel. It's for the Monsterhood. Okay, so let's go with Giano. He's John on here, but I call him Giano. Well, because John's not even his real name, so I can do that. And he's Italian. Right, Giano? Giano Hoggum, one of our top people here in the Discord as far as mods and things. He says, my two picks are Fox, the super mutant, and Charon, both from Fallout 3. They are available as companions. Oh, I never got that far into Fallout. Let's take a look. So I'm assuming the first one is Fox. He's a beefy guy. Cool. He can definitely handle fights for you if you need that. And the second guy is just, well, him. I wonder why you choose them, Jono. Doesn't seem like he has any selfish reasons other than they're just nice guys. So, is he listening? No.
I do not know.
Let me call him out. There we go. Let's see what he says. And Dante said, I don't know, I don't have cable. Okay. Same here, Dante. Pookie Dio laughs. We can already guess what Z's would be, or sort of, right? Well, Chris, since you know Z better than all of us here,
I already typed it out in chat.
you did. Okay, let's take a look at that. Why is the choice? Because they are people too. Z already said the genie from Aladdin with Robin Williams. Hence our
Hence our
Oh,
disagreement
okay.
that the genie is not is not a monster.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, if it's that kind of genie to that level and that friendly and optimistic and with that power, that's a pretty damn good answer. I just was trying to look more at the actual lore of the genie, the mythology. But anyway, we talk all monsters from movies as well, so that's definitely relevant. And I would consider it. So, here. Okay. Jono's not answering yet. Cool. So yeah, Dande said, why did he choose the mutants? Because they're people too? That's what I assume, because they're people and they're monstrous because of the mutant
As
mutation.
how the God Emperor has said, the mutant is not human. That's precisely why it's called a mutant.
Well, there you have it. According to who? To a god?
The God Emperor.
The God Emperor. Oh boy. Oh boy, we're going to that area. Let's move along quick. Let's go over to our YouTube and give those guys a chance. Raincrawler, let's hear from you. Let us know. And since I can't see if he's typing, I'll call out Pro as well. So Procrastatron, if you can share your friendly monster as well. Curious who you guys would choose. Dio, did Dio go or did Dio not have one? Let me see here. I didn't give Dio a chance yet. And Dio, yeah. I'm calling you out. Pucci, you said. And Phonics is typing out. All right, they're typing. Who's going to be first? It's Phonics. It's Dio. Oh, Dio's in the lead. Dio won. Typing something up real quick. That's not really a win. Let's see. Okay. And they're typing again. I'm guessing Phoenix is going to win this one. Yep. The only thing I can think of right now is SCP-999. It's a friend that can always make you happy. Okay. I'm going to Google that one. Are you aware of that one
that
off
is
the...
That is the Tickle Monster.
It's the Tickle Monster. Gotcha. Is that the official name, like nickname on there, a Tickle Monster? It is, right?
No, it's literally its name, the Tickle Monster.
It is. Okay. It just makes me think, why is it called the Tickle Monster?
Because that's the way it likes to play. It just wraps itself around you and starts tickling you.
That could be scary. I hope it really doesn't overdo it.
Yes, sometimes it overdoes it and accidentally hurts you. It's very sad when that happens. Very sorry.
Aww. Aww, that just made it sweeter. Aww.
Yeah, just because it's a 2x2 meter blob, so like 8x8 feet.
Damn. That's got size to it.
It does.
That's at least
just
3.
Wraps around you, tickles you.
Mm-hmm.
It's all nice and fun. Sometimes he can get a bit too excited, which is where the trouble comes from, but he's very sorry whenever something like that happens. It does not want to hurt people.
Right.
It literally takes bullets to save people.
Okay. Though, yeah, we got to remember that he is big, so it's not this cute little thing that overdoes it. Sometimes it's this big, maybe 400 or 500 pound creature that does it. And it's all right to take a bite out of him, right?
And it would be rude.
Oh, it would be. Okay. So I was wondering what kind of a mess, like I have carpets here, unfortunately. Would he leave a mess? Would I really have to wash up after him? Do I need a cage for him?
No, you don't need a cage. That's the little thing. He walks around for free out in the facility where he is usually housed.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose sometimes he leaks.
Okay.
So, you guess.
Because if I look at the image that I used for our one of our Monstercast covers, he does leave some residue behind, which sticky residue
Sometimes
is not fun.
it's not on purpose.
Right. But it is a mess, and it can be a pretty big mess over time. So it does seem like you would have to clean up after it.
Well, every Foundation facility has plenty of D-class to act as janitor.
Sure. Right. I'm just thinking in your own home, though, you know.
Yep, you need to get a few Roombas that can suck up the liquids.
Yes. And yeah, change everything the floor. And then you can eat that residue if you want.
Technically you can, yes. But again, that'd be weird.
I see. Okay. The impression I was getting before is that you can kind of just eat this guy a little bit, but no, he's still conscious enough to where that's that's not so right. Okay, let's catch up here. Dante says, reminds me if Christine is sentient and can auto drive itself, does it really need gas? Messy friend.
Well, yes, it needs to run on something, I suppose.
Right. It's a question of where her energy source really comes from. Is it something beyond what we understand, or is it gasoline itself and the battery?
Or is it eating people?
Donde says, Tickle Monster Care Kit sold for $40 a month. Right, a month. Yeah, have you seen the movie Christine, Chris?
Nope. You will find out there's a lot of movies I have seen.
No worries. It's a pretty good one. I don't know if it's pretty good. It's enjoyable, I'd say, as far as Stephen King's. It's basically a conscious car, and the guy... Well, it's not really conscious. It doesn't, like, talk to the guy and stuff like that, but it invokes this love for it. And I've seen this in real life, even people loving their inanimate objects, to a high degree. But this is beyond it. He actually, like, almost falls in love with this car, and this car has a certain... the thing about it too that's mysterious. I won't go into too deep. You guys can figure it out, but yeah,
it kills people.
It will if it gets jealous. I don't think he makes up too much mess because they let it roam. Right, but SCP grounds are usually floored, and yeah, I could see
metal floors. Yes,
I can imagine SCP grounds kind of being like Men in Black, maybe less shiny and advanced, but like their headquarters.
Basically that, yes.
With all the weird things walking about.
No, only the safe things are allowed to walk about.
Right, the safe. It's not a airport. Let's see, or transportation area. It includes...
you could call them high security prisons. Would be the most accurate.
Right, that's true. Containment. So, Donde says, includes a free SCP poster. Cool, that monthly care kit. 999 tastes terrible, says Phoenix. Both eating and in the toilet. Pookie. Okay, Dio says, Tarkus from JoJo, Part 1. Phantom Blood. He was a knight that got killed, resurrected, and turned into a zombie Dio. Like his friend and comrade, Bruford. I wouldn't call him the best friend of Bruford's. It's more like a comrade friendship between Bruford and him. Okay. So, friends or companions, deep companions. Nice. Okay, I see who would be handling your battles, Dio. And congratulations on leveling up. We'll give you a watermelon for that. There we go. Wonderful. Any thoughts, Chris? Big, beefy friend?
It is a what?
A big, beefy friend?
You're cutting out, Arthur. I'm not able to hear what you're saying.
Sorry, I just said a big, beefy friend.
Well, it is JoJo, so there's bound to be memes.
Right. So not only do you have a big, strong friend, you got a lively meme life to go with it. Or him. Tell me, Dio, is there anything specific about his personality that you would like? Because other than just knowing from the show that he could be a friend, is there something else though? Is there something you know he would enjoy with you? Because in the end, when I'm looking for a friend in real life, I have a problem with friends, and I find that you guys would probably be the best in real life for me because of the range of interests you guys share. I have such a range of interests that I would need a different friend for everyone. It's very hard to find a friend that is outdoorsy as well as will play some like board game type thing as well as being into biology and animals and all this stuff and then computer games as well, you know.
And monsters.
Oh, monsters covers that's overlapping into all those criterias. um so yeah, so that's something to consider when you get one of these friends is yeah, what you get from them, those selfish things, but also how fun do you think they would be over a long span of time? Because eventually you're going to get bored of their appearance and things like that, just as you do in a marriage. And so the other things continue. You know, the in-depth things of their
Well,
personality, their
then
character.
again, you have the benefit of Hades and the Greek gods. They can literally shape.
True, true. And he is so old that he's not going to be changing. Well, that's not an accurate assumption either. Dio likes him big, says Dande. Dande
I
knows.
like some big. He likes some chunky.
Oh boy, Dande's
He
going
likes some
Dando again.
round with something something.
I could see Chris dancing to that. Well, he would enjoy probably when you kill the enemy. I thought Pro would pick Snake Person. Well, let's see what's going on over on YouTube. Give me a minute. Okay, Raincrawler says, the gargoyle. Disney. Okay, the Disney's
Which one
gargoyle.
though?
In the day...
He's probably referring to the Disney animated series as Gargoyles.
All right, he's a fan of those too, I believe. In the
Let me
day
check.
will
Yep.
be stones, but at night it would just like to hear some stories of war from them. Oh, this is Raincrawler. I'm sorry, I was thinking Pro. Okay, yeah, you would hear some cool war stories. Yeah, gargoyle would work. I'd like a gargoyle. You wouldn't be able to do stuff with them during the day much, but you would have an awesome gargoyle. And once I do have a house, I do want gargoyles there for sure. And having them come to life would be so awesome. A good answer there, Raincrawler. I like that one. As long as they're benevolent. Pro says Dande can just charge her up. Who? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think we're talking, Christine. About the gargoyles, Chris, you mentioned something. You wanted to add something or maybe a choice you would have there?
I would just have to say, you can't just specify which gargoyle, because all of them are pretty different.
Mm-hmm. Right. Especially, yeah, when you're bringing up the show. See, again, in my mind, I wasn't even thinking of the show. I was just thinking of traditional, mythological, or real gargoyles. It's cool. There's a place, I forgot where it is in Europe. You might know, Chris. You might remember. It is a old building, old ancient building that had gargoyles, but the gargoyles got old, so they were all damaged. So they replaced some of them with xenomorph type gargoyles on this actual
Never
old
heard
building.
of this before in my life.
Yeah, if you guys Google, or maybe I'll do it. Let's see here, real quick. Come on, scroll up, silly mouse. I hate that the first thing to go on a mouse is the rolling wheel. If you guys can feel with that, give us a thumbs up. Let's see, xenomorph gargoyle, because I saw this image of it, so I was like, wait a minute, is that? And I'll bring it over to our Discord. I was like, wait, is this real? Is this really an ancient thing that looks like a xenomorph? And no, it's not. It was traditionally a regular gargoyle, but they were old and fell apart, and so they were replaced with these. So shout out to Giger, our buddy out there who's passed now that created these. Isn't that a cool little touch out there?
That looks adorable.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's not like desecrating. I don't know which ruin or building this is, but I mean, if we are replacing the gargoyle and we are given a touch of, modernity, the modern world to it, then this is quite a nice shout out in creation. So, I don't know. That's pretty cool. Ooh, what's that? All right. Let's go back to work. Did I just call this work? I've been working too much. Okay, let's see here. Interesting. Seems like that would be a rather nice thing. Isn't there two types? One that looks and shoots out water and one that's statue, grotesque? I'm not sure, Donde. If you find something, post it. Okay, continuing with our pals over on YouTube. Donde can... Okay, Pro said, since I didn't do any research because I forgot about the Monstercast, I'm just going to go with the lazy choice and choose a shapeshifter. Nice. And I did think about that as well.
That's fair.
You see, Dandelion, my shapeshifting buddy can just transform into a snake waifu. There's the catch. Okay. So it goes from human to snake waifu. Goliath, says Raincrawler. Yeah, I was thinking shapeshifter as well until that selfish tinge came in a little bit. So I was like, well, again, if I have the choice, going beyond that. Well, here's a question. And Chris, since you can answer faster, you guys can answer in the text too. I'll read it. If you had the choice between, because these aren't too extreme, but I think it's a good level to have a good versus our question between. Okay, if you had a choice of having a good friend being either the tickle monster and the benefits it gives you, if you forgot the benefits, go ahead and ask and I'll remind you, or just a shapeshifter, a human that can change shape into any other human and gender, and maybe a little bit more than that. Maybe to
tickle monster.
Maybe to creatures such as elves, but not anything too out of control. I don't know if even to the point of a werewolf. Which one would you choose?
Even if the shapeshifter could do it, basically shapeshift into literally anything, I'd still pick the tickle monster.
Okay, so does Pro. And why? Why would you say, Chris?
Because, he can take the shape of the tickle monster, but he does not have the euphoria passive effect.
Right. So that's still a big win for you.
Yeah, literally being in the presence of that creature, you would just feel bliss. It's not like you're something extraordinary, just that, that warm feeling when you're with someone you love and care for very deeply, and you're just doing nothing, just spending the time together in each other's company. It's the most magical feeling ever.
Sure.
That's basically what the tickle monster radiates. That kind of level of personal, just joy, not really just delight. Yeah, that.
Okay. All right. Raincrawler said, no, Pro said tickle monster, and Dio said shapeshifter because it could turn into my favorite characters. That's pretty amazing to see, even cartoon or anime characters in flesh form. That would be pretty nuts. Donde says not sure, to be honest. The shapeshifter could easily be you and get you in hot water. True. So we're talking friend here. We're talking, a good person.
To follow the logic of Kled from League of Legends, a friend is just an enemy you haven't made yet.
Plus the shapeshifter you mentioned sucked harder than the anime Godzilla trilogy, Arthur. Pro, what are you speaking of? What shapeshifter? Oh, the one I mentioned, that it's got the limits. Yeah, that it can't transform. Well, because I want it to be limited to the amount of flesh that it is. I didn't want to go to that point of, it can change into a titan or something. because I wanted to keep the level of comparison more equal between these two, maybe. But maybe the Tickle Monster is quite higher. Um, yeah, because for me, the answer would be Tickle Monster as well, the SCP. Um, yeah, I think for most people it would be, especially at a certain age. I think the older you are, the more you would choose Tickle Monster, realizing the realness of life, right? And
That
it
is
would be
correct.
amazing. I mean, if you're having a fight or arguing with someone, it comes around you guys calm down. Like Chris said, it's not like crazy
Happiness
effects.
is just,
Mm-hmm.
it's not crazy happiness where, oh my god, I must have it. It's just being around gets you in that mellow state of just delight. You just want to lie down and enjoy doing nothing kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can still play around with it, wrestle, tickle each other, all that, but it fills you with this serene delight, the
Yeah.
joy of simplicity, you could say.
Mm-hmm. Which is a great type of joy, a realization in the mind when you do exhibit it, especially with a person and in those moments. It's that what is it? Unconditional kind of love and happiness. Um, so yeah, and so I mentioned, like, even in a fight or a domestic dispute or whatever, police could have these things with them. Too bad there's just one. But imagine if police had them in police cars. They can still catch the guy or whatever, but at least they're not going to fight back. At least things are going to be calm. There does need to be violence when they actually capture the murderer or whatever. Um,
Hmm.
Calming people down in prisons, in mental institutes, so they can communicate better, and maybe through that there would be a lot of cures or things like that, and we don't even know what the body is composed of, and such as that. But then the war, if we could find a way to radiate the effect through larger areas, that would be an effect. So certainly for me, I'd say this creature.
You're kind of stepping into the dangerous bit because
Mhm.
everything is good, but in moderation.
Right.
And expanding it to such an extreme way would probably have some unfortunate side effects that we can't
Agreed.
exactly see right now.
Agreed. I was going into the more experimentative. But yeah, again, if it was just me and this monster and that's it, just our little life, then yeah, I still pick it up over the shapeshifter. Shapeshifter could be cool if it's, say, you're only, like, you don't have a wife or girlfriend that's like your friend or your girlfriend, and it can change form into any sexual desire you have, but also this
It
warrior,
could just be fun if, like, playing hide and seek, it turns into a dog or some manner of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to always go the sexual route with things, Arthur.
Right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Got carried away there. Um, and imagine Halloween. How fun Halloween would be.
Heck yeah.
Let's see. Tickle Monster plus Shapeshifter you mentioned. Strangers. Pro said strangers are just friends whose candy you haven't taken yet. Hmm.
I mean, I might actually have to pop off from the conversation, gentlemen. Is there anyone, literally no one, who can talk with Arthur? Because I will feel bad leaving him alone to voice everything.
It's all good. I've been on here for many times without Monstercast babbling.
Oh, it
Um,
wouldn't be sad. Like again, there's people in text, there's pro in chat, but just you talking to yourself, I don't know. It feels sad, and I don't want to subject you to that.
we'll be wrapping up anyway. Can you stay long enough, Chris, for us to decide the next topic, or you really got to go now?
Oh, yeah, sure. I can stay a couple more minutes.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. We are at that time anyway, an hour and 13 minutes in, believe it or not. Okay, guys, let's come up with the topic, and later I'll catch up with anything I need to hear. So, topics for next Monster Cast. What do we have out here?
I do believe we have some left. We had some left over from the last couple of times, I
I
think.
know, yeah, somebody always brings up monsters that fly. Which one of you was that? Might have been Phoenix. Favorite video game monsters. Okay, we got one from Donde. I'll write that one down. That's a good one. Did we do that one? No, I don't think we did. I think we just...
Nope, I do not believe we did.
Okay. Come on, guys. Give me something I can't go sexual with. I got to do pros part here as well. Favorite video game monster. Pro just said that as well. Resident Evil monsters. That's a tricky one, but yeah, would require some research. Okay. Do you have anything, Chris? I can think of something.
No, I'm up for the video game monsters.
Video game? Okay.
Also,
I'll put
what's
up...
this RE monsters that Dio said?
That's Resident Evil.
Resident Evil.
It's pretty specific.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote for video game monsters.
Okay. I'm trying to come up with someone else thinking feathered fiends, but I want to go something a little deeper.
When you said that, that reminded me. It's a bit of a funny situation. So there used to be. So there is this one guy who's a political YouTuber, and he's from the UK. Tried to run for the European elections, and in the course of his campaigning, as he was going around talking to people, someone threw fish at him, so assault. But later in the shortly after that, a seagull tried to nab at him, and he shooted off in the most British way possible, like get off the cheek of it, of the bird trying to attack him, and one of his Scottish friends just turned that into a joke, like with that avian fiend, the cheek of it.
Nice.
I just find it funny.
Get off the cheek of it. Alrighty. I didn't mention the flying one. I don't know who that was, so I'm not going to mention it until somebody mentions it. So I have 3 here. So here they are. Favorite video game monsters, Resident Evil monsters, or my suggestion, which is Monster Miniature. So what this is, and I was thinking about this during our chat today as far as like friends too. If you okay, Chris, let's ask you since you have a voice. Have you seen the movie Indian in a Cupboard?
What?
Indian in the Cupboard. In the Cupboard.
Never even heard of it.
Okay. It's a very cool idea. So just imagine you have a cupboard. It can be as huge as it needs to be, a cupboard.
Uh-huh.
Well, okay, let me change this up a little. No, I think that's fine.
And I have an Indian tied in there.
Well, what he had is toys. He had little miniature toys. So he had a little miniature Indian guy. He had army guys too. If you put it in the cupboard, close the doors, open it, they come to life. So, if you could choose a single monster, and you can make the sculpture of it how big you want, fit it into, or a miniature or whatever. Well, okay, no. Let me rephrase. It has to be a miniature. If you could choose any monster miniature out there, a single type, a single character, the cupboard can only make this magic once. So you can't have a whole miniature Warhammer army, which I totally would love to have, but just a single one. Which monster miniature would you put in the cupboard to come to life? So that's mine. So miniature monster, Resident Evil monsters, or favorite video game monsters.
See, now you've got to make me think, because that's a good option.
Yes, Dande, these are the options for the new one, the next Monstercast.
Now that with the miniature, it gets the noggin jogging. It
yeah.
activates my almonds.
My almonds. It would be so fun just having one in your pocket all the time, especially when you're still young and at school, you know.
Okay, I'm gonna have to change answer. Instead of favorite video game monsters, I'm gonna go for the monster miniature.
Nice. Another movie to think of in relation to this is Toy Soldiers. If you guys have seen that, pretty cool movie.
I've seen that. It is a good movie.
I
like it.
It is. It's a fun movie, awesome concept to consider. Amazing work they did for it too. I was watching a little bit of behind the scenes. Okay, all right. So we got our votes. Chris is saying miniature. Darth Phonics is saying Resident Evil. Video game is saying Donde. So one for each so far. There's only 3 options. Another one for Resident Evil from... No, he changed his mind. Raincrawler said miniature. So 2 for miniature. And 2 for Resident Evil. Jono's there. Maybe he can break the tie.
Oh, this is awkward.
If you need to go, Chris, go anytime you need.
Alright, well, gentlemen, I wish you a fine evening. Thank you for having me tonight. Final words on behalf of Victor. Do not fear the unknown. Seek it out, study it, understand it. Through which I would, and for Z would be Necrons. And in response, I'm just gonna say, fear the unknown. Shoot it in the face with a shotgun. Have a good night, everyone.
Beautiful. All right, Chris. See you around. Have a great week. All right, ladies and gents. We do have ladies here. I know they're out there because we have shapeshifters in here. All right, guys, if you're still watching, hopefully you are. We're going to finish up this Monstercast slowly here, but Jono gave another vote for video game. So it looks like each one has 2 votes. Beautiful. So we just need one more vote for any, and that will break the tie. We have 2 for each. I won't vote. Or if I vote, that will break the tie, but I want somebody else to break the tie. Has everybody voted? Arthur, please. Please what? You want me to break the vote? Vote for my own? Vote Arthur. Damn. Video game. Let's see. K9 is playing a game. I'm going to shout her out. Okay, and pathetic. I don't want to vote for my own. Because I do want to vote for my own. So that'll break the vote. Poochie. Yeah, she'll be over there. So I have so many to talk about. Right. Well, Pro, that's such a general topic. That's why I kind of want to vote for something more thoughtful. But wait, Pro, didn't you favorite game? Yeah. Do we need to do a recount? Oh boy, he's getting an attitude. All right, let's see. Queen of Kobolds, he's not here. What do I do? Gotta be a leader. Gotta put the foot down. Maybe, you know what? Since I'm leaning, Bog, break the tie. Well, let's give it a try. Queen. And carry out. Right, there's so many people on that are totally ignoring this. Consider yourself true monsterites. At least the people in the highest level here. Well, no, I can't. Okay, well, I'm going to finish up the show. If we don't get a tiebreaker in here, then I'll break the tie, and I think I know how I'm going to do it. Anything else to talk about? I think it was an interesting topic. Would it be possible... what about a T-1000? That's another shapeshifter type creature if it was benevolent. But obviously it's not, since we're including the lore. Anything that you guys can think of from Warhammer or D&D lore? Those 2 lores that you wouldn't mind having as a friend. Let's see in the comments there. For example, I love xenomorphs. Not xenomorphs, tyrannids. Even more than xenomorphs, probably. But is there any tyrannid I would like to befriend in real life? In the life as we know it? Probably not. Brother moons. A brother moon. If it can straddle down to your level of consciousness and understanding, having a brother moon as a friend, that'd be cool. The insight you would get, but without it having its habits of turning all dead into necromorphs and just being there kind of as a companion, because it would talk to you telepathically. You'd have this knowledge from a brother moon. That'd be pretty insane. It'd be god level. Essentially, brother moons are god level creations. That's why it's hard to compete when people make those creation fights of between those assimilation type creatures. Who would win? Tyrannids, xenomorphs, zergs, flood, or necromorphs. Well, you got the brother moons. They have quite an edge in all that, but so do tyrannids. I don't know why I'm going into that again. Talking about friends, but I should be wrapping this up unless you guys want me to continue. I can continue easily for another 10 minutes or so, but if you guys need to go and want me to wrap it up, do let me know. Please, you are more than welcome to. Let's take a look at how many viewers we got. I'm going to catch up with what you guys said here. Stranger's favorite video. Chris is talking about soy gun. And yes, Pro, I'm referring to Boomer of Akkad. Pro said, having the entire Tyrannid hive mind as a friend sounds awesome and powerful. Right. If we're going to that level. Yeah, because that's like Brother Moon level. I have nowhere to go, Arthur. Poor Pro. But that poorness makes you a winner in the book of the Monsterhood. Let's see. I give you some horn if you say Resident Evil. No one carry. I'm not sure, to be honest. Me when it's not RE monsters, Arthur. Crap. Damn it, Dio. You'd have to say something. I'll tell you in a moment why it was better if you wouldn't have said anything to encourage Resident Evil monsters. I think someone did already a video of it, Arthur. Has it been chosen in the end? No. We will see sometime soon. Crap. See, what my plan was, because Pro was encouraging video game monsters, another person who was encouraging the miniature monster, so I was thinking of leaning toward Resident Evil monsters and doing that one as my vote to break the tie, because nobody was really encouraging that one forcefully, but Dio just did. Oh, and he deleted? No. So now it's back to everybody being equal and even on this vote. Did already a video. See sometime soon. Pro's Wandering Spirit. Wandering through the wasteland, searching for something. Found it. All right. Well, let the bot choose. We can do a bot choose, can't we? Yeah, we can roll a dice or something. Flip a coin. Let the... Don't be getting impatient with me, because as soon as this is done, the stream is over. Flip a coin. I'm going to do a dice roll. Yeah, I'll do a dice roll. How do we do the roll again? Let's see. I think it's roll 3. Can we do that? Oh, no. D&D style. Yep. But it's going to be a 3-sided dice. Each number is going to be a number representing one of the choices. But I forgot how we roll here. Do you guys remember? Oh, D3. Let me see if that works. Come on. Update. Come on. Isn't that how we do it? Up in the Monsterhood. Roll D6. How do you do dice rolls? Can somebody remind me how to do a die roll? Come on, folks. 3D, D3. Or we could just gamble our watermelons. That's always an option. Get some gambling going. That's my only guess. I thought it's 8-ball. We could do the 8-ball. What is the code for that, Pro? Hurry up, hurry up. Is it that? What is the code? How do you write that up? Come on, folks. There is a bot called Dice Maiden. Well, we already have the thing here. Okay, let's do the thing. Okay. All right, so we're going to do this 8-ball until we get our answer. You guys ready? Okay, first choice. What was our first choice? Yo. Our first choice is... First option. Video game. Okay, video game monsters. What say you, bot? What? Correct usage. On question. Okay. Game monsters. Next Monstercast topic. Okay. Take that, copy it. All right, here we go. Yes. Okay, so video game monsters got a yes. Video game monsters got a yes, guys. So, but we're not done yet. We're not done yet. We got to run through the other ones. And then it's like a tournament style thing. Resident Evil monsters. And the answer is concentrate and ask again. I'll take that as a no for that one. Uh-oh, so we got one left. We got one left. Are you shaking in your boots? Aw, poor Dios. Diosters. And the final one is miniature. Womize. Monsters. Here we go. Reply hazy. Try again. Ooh, the winner is a video game monsters. Congratulations to those of you who chose that. Next time, I think I'm going to break the tie by voting as well, or just vote as well as I think I usually do. This was a little bit prolonged, but it's been a short monster cast. Now we hit our hour and a half, so we can go home. If we're not home. You little... Alrighty. There you have it, guys. Next one will be your favorite video game monsters. Try to keep it down to one with a possible of 2 shoutouts. So one that you would go in depth on, and 2 that you would just mention but not go in depth on, unless we have that time. But usually we don't. So that means like 3 if you want. But if you don't have more than that, 1 is perfect. Okay? So 1. But if you want to mention more, you can just give them a shout out. There you have it, folks. So keep that in mind. Video game monsters. Magic ball time with Arthur, Donde says. You betrayed me, John. Jono. The German's after you, Jono. Pick up your pizza and spaghetti and run. Monsterhood jokes. Let's see here. Video games. Nah, you can't change it there. Yes. Ooh, only one. One that you go in depth with, Pro. One that you go in depth with. The rest that you just want to give a shout out. So it doesn't take up too much time. Never know how many people show up to these things. That's what's kind of original, I think, with our Monstercast or podcasts, is that any others that you'll see on the tube is usually they have the regular people, maybe a guest. Ours is the door's open for now until we get big enough on these things. But for now, the door is open. People can slide in, chat, and get out whenever they want. And I think that's what makes us pretty original here and pretty fun, too, I think. As long as everybody has a decent quality mic. I think quality is the main factor there. We haven't had trolls yet coming in and doing something crazy and leaving, so it's all good with that. So we're gonna keep it like this style of podcast until, should say higher, until it gets out of control. And hopefully that's going to be a while, especially with the amount of moderators we've assigned at this point. Top 3 then? Yeah. Top 3, but only talk about one. 2 being shoutouts. Yep, you got it, bro. You got it. He's going to speak Joyman after I'm done with him, Dio said. He's going to speak Joyman after I'm done with him. Donde, Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I could have done the wheel to make the decision. I really want to do the miniature one, personally. I wanted to do it so bad, that's why I thought it'd be unfair if I voted, because I really did want to do that. I didn't just throw it in there as a request, which I do sometimes, and I vote for somebody else's, right? You guys want me to keep going, or are we done? I'm looking for quick answers. If there's no quick answers in the first, forgot the word, the latter, no, the previous one, then I will wrap this up and we will end this. So 3, 2, 1. No talks here. I know Pro just, I'm really here largely for for Pro, because I know once we go off, I can still chat a little bit over here on Discord. Oh, poor Pro. He's going to be left alone. Any messages to Pro out there? Donde, anything, anybody want to send out? Pro, if you ever make any more memes, even just with the guys here, I'd welcome him over on the other Discord, wherever. I'll bring him over here. That'd be still cool to see if you ever make any. Let me know. Tag me over there. Don't go. He's crying. There's Griffin chat place. Right. So over on Griffo's end. Pro Dio's giving you an angry Joyman face. Oh. And Raincrawler, yeah, Raincrawler is a part of this as well. Okay, guys, I think we're going to wrap this up for the people that will be watching this after. They probably stopped by now anyway. Thank you for joining another Monstercast. Today we talked about our monster friends. I'd love to hear more ideas on this in the comments, even afterward. I think it's a very interesting topic. I think we should go back to it, if not another Monstercast, and within other discussions. Shut up, you strudel, he said to Dio. So, yeah, I want to keep going on with it, but I don't have a structured way of discussing it right now, because I'd love to keep going on the whole topic. That's why I'm looking for, ideas from you guys, but it is fascinating, because if we're talking about an open world different from ours, then you can think of a lot of monsters, Titanic, like even as Godzilla has been mentioned. But if we're looking at this, our daily lives as they are, it's pretty interesting. And I think there's a lot more out there we're not thinking of right now. Oh, another one. I think I brought this one up in the past Monsterhood, where I do remember we brought up monster friends and companions, was the short circuit aliens. Let me bring that up for you guys. Hope you're happy with this. Pro, Yomi. Was it called Short Circuit, or am I? No, I'm not. Not Short Circuit. It's Short Circuit is great too. Johnny 5 or something. No. Battery's not included. That's what I'm thinking about. Short Circuit is awesome too, though. The robot there, especially with the gun on his shoulder. Batteries not included. Love these ones. These I mentioned before with this kind of question, and I would choose again. Too bad I didn't mention that today. Thank you, Dance. Dante always gets my media movie references. How different would it be for monsters living with you on a day-to-day basis and not just friendly ones as well? Ooh, that's a good Monstercast topic. Dio. Too bad you won't bring it up again, because you're going to bring up Resident Evil ones. until we get that going. But that's a good Monstercast idea for you guys to think about in the future is how interesting it would be if monsters existed in our world and not just the friendly ones. And we can bring up different tales on that. So, Dande? Oh, that was me that brought up that picture. So batteries not included are these, basically they're just little spaceships. I wouldn't call it little UFOs. They're little spaceship aliens. Little spaceship aliens. That's how big they are. Look at the picture here as they fly in through the window. They're actually smaller than that, I believe, than that image there. They're a little bigger than the size of your hand open. Some of them, I think some are the size of your palm. Pro isn't in the WOM anymore. You saw this one. I found something for Pro. Cool. So yeah, so what these guys do is at one point in the movie, the spoiler, the guy's house is destroyed or something, and they totally rebuild it overnight. They have this ability. They're little, think of fairies, but in electronic form. So they're these, alien spaceship form. They just fly around and they can fix stuff. They're very awesome at fixing stuff. And they're benevolent, just fun to play with, kind of cute. They reproduce. Yeah, little fixers. So they're very cool too. So shout out to Batteries Not Included. And by the way, Short Circuit as well, because that was a cool one. JMPF finally showed up. Amazing. He shaved the show. Say that 3 times fast. Shave the show, shave the show, shave the show. Saved the show by prolonging it just that little bit. JMPF, quick. Text it out or tell us the monster you would choose to have as a friend in this life as we know it, in this reality. Batteries Not Included. Definitely a movie you guys have to watch. Batteries Not Included and Short Circuit. God, if you didn't grow up in the era I did and you're younger, that's a big miss out for you guys. That's such a 80s, early 90s style movie. Just the whole feel with it. Very cool. I wonder if you've seen it, Pro. Because sometimes, very rarely do you see something that we mention, and I know we usually connect on it, but the problem is usually you haven't seen it. I'll give you the video once I start my horror game channel. Yeah, Pro, I'd love if you stayed connected with us and learned more video editing. You got Vegas Now. Another one was Camtasia for video editing software, but Pro, no. I don't know, Pro. If you get on it, I'm sure we can form a relationship from that side as well. It'd be great. Okay, let's see if JMPF says anything. JMPF, come on. We're waiting for you because we're wrapping up the show. We are closing down. Super OCD's hanging out there. The little punk. Moment of silence, by the way, for Super OCD. And that's what she gets. Last week's Monstercast, we had quite a few moments with Z. So if you guys want to rewatch that Monstercast, or if you haven't watched it, there's quite a few moments with the heart playing and C talking from the heart. And it's to the level of mermaids. It was good. It was good. He could have broke the tie. That's true. Should we still let him? No, it's too late. That wouldn't be fair now. JMPF says a monster cause. Great choice. And I love tree monsters, if you guys haven't learned that about me yet. A monster calls. This tree monster appeared to a boy whose mother was dying from cancer and helped him to deal with it, since he was mad at everything. Yeah, that movie... Who has seen the movie A Monster Calls? Pro says, gonna steal your audience and backstab you. Damn it, Pro, I know you go to a certain degree with that. I'm just wondering how much of that is truly a joke. Because I know you'd mess around and have fun, but with you, Pro, and where you go in your loss of control, how far would it go, Pro? How far would it go? What's our level of friendship, Pro? My South African quote-unquote friend. All right, that was a moment for Pro. That's what he's going to start getting from now on. He's going to get an awkward moment for himself. Lost cause. Totally not me. What were we talking about? Not I. So you guys haven't seen A Monster Calls. A Monster Calls. Pasta. A Monster Calls isn't necessarily, it's not such a monster movie. It's more of a deep movie. It's not a great movie. It's not a movie that'll keep you watching. It's a little slow, but I do appreciate it for its depth, its artistic value too, because it is, if I recall correctly, a part of this child's mentality and a lesson that he needs to go through dealing with such a death. So it's a death like his mother's. So it's one of those family movies, children movies that have a really dark side to them. There's a few of them out there. Bridge to Terabithia is another one, kind of borderline fantasy movie. Not really, but they're movies created to kind of help, in a way, help children deal with really heavy topics. And they're always interesting to see. They're not usually that enjoyable of movies. They're simply not for the topic themselves. But they, for what they are in the productions, they have a place in there in the movie world, and it's a respectable place. Another one is Where the Wild Things Are, right? From the famous children's book, which again isn't really about the monsters, but the restlessness of the child, a metaphor of that, a creation, a metaphorical creation of that. That's what that movie is. So again, not just silliness and a monster with a kid, it's more about the mentality and the in-depth level of that. So that's what those movies are, if you ever wondered and chose not to watch them because you thought they're just like childish movies. No, it's more, they're created as lessons. That's why they come from novels and children's books. Ooh, some Dr. Seuss monsters would probably be awesome for our topic today as friend monsters. So yeah, alrighty. Liam Neeson. I just suddenly forgot who Liam Neeson is. Liam Neeson was the monster. Oh yes, he did the voice for the monster, which is calming, but I wouldn't say as friendly and awesome as the voice of Sean Connery being the dragon Draco in Dragonheart. Yeah, that monster even had a little bit of Lisa Nielsen's look, maybe, to it. Oh boy, from Taken. Yeah, that's a bad way to mention Liam Neeson for that movie from Taken. I'll take care of things. I'm going to strap you down. We're going to get the tools out. I may be your friend, but I know how to deal with these things. That's Liam Neeson's way of being your friend. Quote unquote friend again. There's such a weird, unpredictable side to him. That's rather calming, but rather devastating on your soul. What a way of putting that. I'm not a lost cause. I'm a lost cause. Totally not me. Yeah, Pro gave me the evil smile. Oh, Pro. Pro. 3 times the evilness. All right, guys, for the angriness. That wraps up our show for today. That was quite a run after Chris left. He should know better than to feel sorry for me being left alone, because it just gets nuts. By the way, guys, if you ever stay here on Discord, and I do invite you to our Discord group, we'd love to have you. We have so much stuff going on here, so much monster info that I just can't fit into the channel. But you'll also get little pluses like this of me rambling and other people on here rambling as well, and us rambling together sometimes. Especially after the Monstercast, we have a little after party where I'll stay on the microphone for sometimes a couple hours more, or I think even once 4 hours more, just chatting with you guys in text. So that's the benefit in joining our Discord. And as so far, we never charge for anything. It's not a Patreon. It's all free. It's all for you guys. And that's all what this channel is for. With that, I wrap it up. Hey, I see John is in type of spaghetti, implying spaghetti in type of pasta. Okay, they're having their real their little duke out. So thank you, JMPF, for joining in. Even though you joined in late, you still joined in, and I appreciate it. Great share. What was I wonder what your guys' favorite was for today. I think mine must be, well, the Tickle Monster, but what Chris mentioned as Hades. That's a pretty good one there. Because I didn't know those sides of Hades either. I haven't had the chance to go deeper on that. JMPF mentioned... And a Minotaur. I forgot to mention the Minotaur because that's my companion there. Ah, yes, the Monster Calls, right. That's a cool one, but in this world, that would be pretty tough. The government would take him away or destroy him, depending on how physical he would be. All right, guys. So next time we're going to be talking about what? Video game monsters. Favorite video game monsters. I'm going to have to write that down. Yours is the Tickle Monster Pro. I think over Hades. Yeah, that's my... I didn't mention that. Which one would I still choose over them? I don't know, but yeah. For your favorites, yeah. It's a good one. Dio officially went insane run. Dio's not sleeping here yet. Too bad Pro can't hear Dio's snores anymore, as Dio would sometimes fall asleep during these things. All right, guys. Thank you for joining in. Plus Resident Evil's video game. Yeah, Dio, you didn't get Resident Evil as a topic, but we did get video game monsters, so you can still talk about Resident Evil monsters. It's a win-win for you, Dio. Really. You should be the happiest out of here. There we go. With that.
A victory.
There we go. That was JMPF.
Victory.
Thank you, Donde, for joining in. Thank you, Darth Phonics, for joining in. Thank you, JMPF, for joining in. Thank you, Dio, for joining in. Please leave your last words and goodbyes out there. I'll just say. Oh, and thank you, guys. Raincrawler.
Bye.
There you go. See you, JMPF. And Pro over there on YouTube. Thank you for joining in. All right, guys. Have a great week wherever you are. Stay monstrous, my friends. Go ahead and say your last goodbyes. Monsterites, I bid you all a fond... Oh, gosh, that's such a feeling of a song. Such a feel song. The song that he sang for Lord of the Rings. I bid you all a very fond farewell. Ooh, that can bring a tear in your eye just thinking that that was the closure to all the Tolkien movies. And we're never going to see those actors act together like that again. You guys got to check out the song. I'm going to post it here after the Monstercast is officially down. But it's one of the hobbits, forgot his name. He sings the song. It's on YouTube, and he plays it on guitar. It's so beautiful. It really is. If you know what I'm talking about, please shout it out. Until next time, goodbye. You guys are doing your goodbyes. Thank you very much. Very much. Let's wrap this up with an outro song. As I amateurly look for it. There we go. It's an upbeat song. Until next time, we do these every week. Just don't be sad. Don't be sad. Goodbye, Pro. Take care, buddy. See you, Raincrawler. In order to make my way for a purely horror library. Stay monstrous. Yeah. Good chat. Good chat. This time I think.